Hello, everybody. Welcome to OtterDelicious. This is our second episode of OtterDelicious. What is OtterDelicious? Remember, OtterDelicious is Otterbein Senior Life's own culinary cooking show. But it doesn't always have to be a cooking show. Sometimes we'll have interviews. You will see executive chefs. You will see bakers. You will even see residents, such as on our episode today. Every week we will come to you live from a different community. Where are we today? We're at the amazing Otterbein Senior Life Sunset Village campus. We're at our Fieldstone Villas, which is our independent living portion of Sunset Village. Okay? For anybody who doesn't know me, remember I am Drew Allen. I am our Corporate Director of Culinary Services here at Otterbein Senior Life. I've been blessed to be with the organization for about 14 years. Standing here to the right of me, we have Executive Chef Rodney. Rodney is Executive Chef here at the Fieldstone Villas, and we're going to ask him to say a little bit about himself and what he does here at the Fieldstone Villas. Chef Rodney?
Hello, my name is Chef Rodney. I'm Executive Chef here, and I do all the cooking of the dinners 5 days a week. I've been Executive Chef for over 20 years. And I love enjoying working at Otterbein Villas.
Wow, Chef Rodney, Executive Chef for 20 years. So, and you've been cooking here for how long?
7 years.
7 years here, but 20 years all in all. So, is it safe to say that your wife makes you do all the cooking in the house?
Oh, yes.
Oh, you ladies get so spoiled. You get so spoiled when you get a chef in the house. Right. So, well, I'm going to let Chef Rodney go in the back. He has to do some other things. He's going to get something ready for today as well. So, Rodney, we'll see you in a little bit when you bring that tree back. Okay. Just a little info about our campus here at Otterbein Sunset Village. I made myself some notes. As we go from community to community, we just want to let you know about the community that we're coming from. So, Otterbein Sunset Village sits on about 70 rural acres in Sylvania, Ohio, with the following accommodations: independent living villas, about 32 villas and 43 IL residents. Our assisted living here has about 56 apartments with about 59 residents. Our healthcare accommodations has about 50 rooms, but we have long-term care, nursing, and short-term care. So if you or a loved one is looking for somewhere to stay in Sylvania, Ohio, be sure to check out Otterbein Senior Life Sunset Village. Well, on today's episode of OtterDelicious, we have Mr. Richard. Mr. Richard is a resident here at Otterbein Sunset Village. I'm going to ask him to, once he gets a little time, just to give you a little summary about himself, his time here, and maybe even what he did before he came to Otterbein. So, Mr. Richard, I'll take care of that for you. If you want to tell the audience out there a little bit about you.
Okay, I'm Richard Ward. I've been here longer than anyone else, actually, my wife and I. And we came a little over 8 years ago. And I'm not a cook, but I will cook today. And in fact, I cook every morning what I call a scrim. It's you could call it a scrambled egg along with vegetables, mainly vegetables. So I'm going to put that in here while I say a few words about myself. And I was in other fields, certainly not cooking, for most of my life, and still am.
So, you heard Mr. Richard, he said, I am not a cook, I'm not a chef, but I talked to his wife earlier, who you'll hear from later, and she says that he does all the cooking in the house. So take it how you want to take it.
So anyway, and I worked in other fields for most of my life. And so right now, what I'm cooking is vegetables mainly, carrots, onions, tomatoes, mushrooms. Sometimes I put in other types of goodies, all kinds of vegetables, whatever we have on hand.
Okay, okay. So now, in these fresh vegetables, have you ever grown any vegetables in a garden or anything, Mr. Richard?
Yep. When I lived in Minnesota, I grew vegetables in our garden,
Okay.
except for potatoes.
Except
And
for
the potatoes didn't work, but
Right.
everything else worked. And we ate from our garden many times. And when I was growing up on a farm in South Carolina, we had about a 10-acre garden, and we ate, most everything that we ate came from the garden. The only thing that didn't come from the garden was rice and sugar.
Wow.
Otherwise, it all came from there. Now, is this on high?
It is on high. If you want to turn it up high.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yes, it is starting to sizzle. Are you? You know, I've never grown any vegetables in the garden. Can you tell us just maybe one or two of your favorite vegetables to grow in the garden?
Well, we grow things that most people don't know about. Okra.
Okra. Okay.
And
Okay.
and we also grew asparagus, which most people don't grow. Actually, my dad grew asparagus when I was older and not at home. But anyway, and we grew corn. We had 5 acres of sweet corn. And then we had all kinds of beans, including what were called Kentucky Wonders. And those were string beans. And my mom always liked those, I think, better than anything else. And butter beans, peas, garden peas, field peas, mostly field peas, and tomatoes, melons, you name it, we grew it.
You name it, you grew it.
And we ate it.
And we have a question while you're preparing the food, Mr. Richard. So a couple of our communities actually have gardens that the residents tend to. You know, if that was something that ended up coming to Sunset Village, would that be something you would take a part of?
Well, we have a small raised bed, and I have grown parsley and chives in that garden. But the problem is I always forget to use them. So it hasn't worked particularly well.
No problem.
It's just okay. It's just doing okay.
Yep, it's doing okay. So while Mr. Richard's over there, I'm just going to walk over and, you know, talk about a few more things as he's getting things together. I actually have, looks like I see Chef Rodney coming over here. Let's see what does he have for us. So Chef Rodney, what do you have for us, sir?
I have candied bacon. What I did was I sprinkled a little brown sugar over it, put it in the oven, and let it cook.
Candy bacon. Can you see it glistening? That is not grease. That is the candy. Let's see. If you haven't had it before, it is amazing. Bacon is one of my good, near friends to my heart, Rodney. And you just made my friend become my best friend with this candy bacon.
I'm glad you enjoy it.
This is amazing. You said you just sprinkle a little brown sugar
Yes,
and put it in the oven,
that's it.
just like you were cooking regular bacon.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to put this right here
Okay.
because this might go good with Mr. Richard's entree here in a little bit. Thank you again, Chef Rodney.
Thank you.
This is delicious. Candy bacon, everyone.
I will just let this cook for a little bit more
No problem.
before we put the eggs in, and we have some
Delicious.
not parsley, but what do I call it, Linda? Cilantro. Yeah, there we go.
Mr.
Cilantro.
Richard's fresh cilantro. He wanted to make sure you knew that it is not parsley, it is fresh cilantro. By the way, as Mr. Richard is preparing his unforgettable entree I'm sure I'm going to try here in a little bit. Just curious, we know we saw a lot of residents out there yesterday being a part of the solar eclipse watch party. And I know some of our residents here at the Sunset Village campus went over to the Pemberville campus, and we heard that it was such a great time. Don't forget, our biggest event of the year, our Outerbind Senior Olympics is coming up in September. Remember, I'm going to go to my calendar so I can give you the specific date. Don't want to say the wrong date, but we are looking at for our 5th annual Outerbind Olympics on September the 19th. Now, a little different this year. We will be at Outerbind St. Mary's. Outerbind St. Mary's this year on the water, on the lake. The programs teams had so many activities, water activities for everyone. We have some surprises. This will definitely be a different Outerbind Senior Olympics. Don't forget, all of your executive chefs will be there for the 5th annual Taste of Outerbind.
And our chef Rodney will win.
Okay, it was said here today. It was said here today on the Sunset Village campus that Chef Rodney was going to win. That is what Mr. Richards said. It did not come out of my mouth. Executive chefs at the other campuses, what are you going to do?
Is this still on?
Oh, it turned off for a little bit. You might have, there we go. Yeah, I think you just turned it a little bit too. Yep,
okay.
You're good. So, Chef Rodney, come on over. You have your resident here, Mr. Richards, said that you will win this year's Taste of Outerbind. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I am going to win.
Yes. Good man. Good man.
Oh, I love it. I love the competition. The competition is thick. I know Mr. Richards is going to want me to taste this in a little bit. And
Now, the difference is I usually cook it on low heat, but this thing goes off if I turn it on low, so.
no problem, because fortunately for me, I have the great job of tasting Mr. Richards' food, which is what I love to do.
Okay, it's still going.
Still going. Okay, you know what? I'm going to try another piece of Mr. Rodney's candy bacon. Don't leave home without it.
Yeah, I'm cooking it on too high a heat.
No problem.
So I'm going to move it around
Move it around, it says.
because I usually cook at home on an electric stove, not a gas stove, and so I don't know how to use gas
Okay,
stoves.
so you're an electric man.
Absolutely.
Okay. I know out there in TV land, you can't smell these fresh vegetables that Mr. Richard is cooking, but believe me, the tomatoes, the
Carrots, spinach,
oh my God.
onion,
Onion smells like it came fresh out of a garden.
and many times I use Swiss chard as well as other veggies in the scram.
Okay. So I'm assuming you want me to get a fork so I can taste this.
There's a little for you and a little for you.
We have somebody special in the audience today. Would you tell everybody your name?
I'm Linda Ward. And
Thi-
this is my husband. I'm very proud of him today, especially, and many other days too.
This is Miss Linda. I'm going to give her a fork. I have a spoon. She is here to also taste the food with me as well. So this is the person who he cooks for, even though he's not a cook. So we're going to try this. And what are you adding to it right now, Mr. Richard?
Avocado.
Fresh avocado. And again, Mr. Richard, we call this your
Scram.
scram.
It's a scramble.
Okay. All right, I'm going to
And I'll put this in here.
go ahead and bring this up there. Can you see?
Wait a minute. I'm not done with
Oh,
it.
it's not done yet. I
No,
want to
but-
show you fresh avocado. He's about to put, ooh, what is this? Some salsa?
Yeah, I forgot the spoon.
Oh, yes, no problem. You can use
There you go.
Okay.
And let's see, this is yours?
Yes, sir. No, yep, so I'll take that. No cheese, right?
Right.
Yep. Mr. Richard knew that I do not eat cheese a lot of times, so he did not put cheese on mine, but he said to
Okay,
let
hang on a
everyone
minute.
know
This
it
is for
does come with
Rodney.
feta on top.
That's
Okay.
Rodney's. Oh, here. I forgot to put this on there.
What is?
Don't want too much.
Okay.
Whoa, maybe too much. So
Can you
that's
see
Rodney's.
that? Can we see that? Let's taste this. Literally, I can taste everything fresh. One thing we will be doing at the end of the year, we will be making an OtterDelicious cookbook. Okay? So some of your favorite recipes that you'll see this year on OtterDelicious, we will put the recipes in our cookbook.
Your fork.
I gave it to Ron.
Wow, Mr. Richard, very good.
There.
Don't forget the candy bacon.
You got a spoon from one of the tables. Okay. Okay, did it pass muster?
It passed mustard.
No, I don't have anything to put it in. I'll put it in here.
Okay, Mr. Richard, I would like to say something. Sometimes we get phone calls and messages from people out there watching the show.
Yep.
I just got a message from our studio audience.
Yeah.
The person just wrote me. I'm going to read the message live. The message says, "Tell Mr. Richard he is wrong. Chef James from Lebanon is going to win." That is what they sent me.
Yes, it is.
I love the competition, everybody.
Started already.
That was our famous program director from OtterDelicious Lebanon, Miss Rhonda Hammermeister. She is letting us know that Chef James from Lebanon will be winning. Feel free to call in and text us while we always go live here on OtterDelicious for anything you would like for us to say, anything that might have been miscommunicated
Okay.
that you want us to tell the studio audience.
But of course, she's wrong. Rodney will win.
But Rhonda, Mr. Richard said if you were here today tasting Rodney's candy apple bacon, or tasting his scram, Rhonda, he says you might have another tune. I don't know. I'm in the middle. I'm being objective. I don't know. My job is to go and taste the food and give my best opinion. That's all I can do. So, wow. Rhonda just wrote back from Lebanon, and she said 2 words. Her 2 words she said, "It's on." Okay.
Yes.
It is on. Well, everybody, as we are wrapping up here at OtterDelicious Sunset Village, remember, we are coming to you live every Tuesday at 2 p.m. OtterDelicious, a different community every week. Remember, it won't always be a chef. It could be a resident like Mr. Richard. So if you have any of your famous recipes, famous things that you like to bake, let us know. We let you come on to OtterDelicious. Here is a little secret starting next week. We're going to start almost a little contest somewhere where you can win things.
Did Rodney get one?
So, starting next week, the first resident from every community that calls in while we're going live, you will win something. Okay? We're not doing it this week. We're going to start it next week. Every Tuesday at 2 p.m. You need to be glued into your TVs. Remember, if you don't have a TV near you, or if you're off campus somewhere, you could be out of town in Florida, and you can pull out your app, your Touchdown app. Mr. Richard, anything else to say before we log off of OtterDelicious today?
Well, enjoyed cooking. I hope you enjoyed it, and Linda and Rodney enjoyed it. And if anybody wants to know how I did it, they can ask me.
And one last question. Can they book you to come cook in their homes? We'll wait until next week to give you that answer. Everybody, we'll see you next week, next Tuesday at 2 p.m. on OtterDelicious. Bye-bye.
So,